Welcome back to my channel, Love and Light Spiritual Readings and Healings. My name is Kimberly Ann, and I have your weekly reading forecast for today, October 21st, 2019 through Sunday, October 27th, 2019. And plus, we are in Mercury Retrograde Pre-Shadow right now. So we have lots to talk about this week. Your weekly reading forecast for the week of October 21st today through Sunday, October 27, 2019. Ooh, holy cannoli, guys. We went into Mercury Retrograde Pre-Shadow, or better known as Retrograde. Dun, dun, dun. Have you guys been feeling it? Oh my goodness. Miscommunication, misunderstanding. Electronics are slower, or they're sending stuff to the wrong places, or cell phones aren't loading as fast. It's all starting to happen. We started this October 11th and it runs till October 31st. We're in the pre-shadow, and then Mercury stations on October 31st, and that's when a lot of different things happen. You know, we have all kinds of delays during that time, clumsiness, accidents, I mean, you name it. But I try not to look at it as a negative. And you know, that's something we'll get into later in my other videos, how I feel about. We do have to face negative, light, and dark, but we look at Mercury retrograde in such a negative way that it, you know, if we could just look at it, not exactly in the positive, but just look at it as like what it's really offering us, right? Did you have ideas in the past and you never completed them? Or, you know, you were thinking of starting a business and never did. Stuff's coming back around for you to work on. Yeah, we are letting go of toxic relationships. They could be spouses, they could be boyfriend, girlfriends, friendships, family relationships. If stuff is toxic in our life, guys, and not serving us well at this time, and I know a lot of you have been messaging me, it's really happening. It's really falling away because it's helping us to grow. When we stay stuck in that, you know, I just can't let go, that causes a lot of restraint on our growth, and it's been happening a lot. You know, all that negativity that surrounds Mercury retrograde, if we could take it and reflect on the experiences that we've had, you know, here on earth, and use it to kind of, like me right now, I'm working on shadows. Shadows has been a big thing lately. I had a beautiful healing and activation done, and it's really helped me recognize some shadows I had. And, you know, at times I used to be in denial. So I'm so glad I had that activation done to help me see what I needed to work through. When we let stuff go, we don't want to just walk away from it. We want to face it and look at it, you know, be in it, see how it affected us. And when we're ready, let go so we can move forward without repeating, right? Teaching and learning is such a good thing at this time too. You know, let's get back to the toxic stuff. We're still in that full moon energy. You know, we had it on the 13th. And that was, you know, clearing out all toxicity, all, you know, everything being cleared, the drama out of our lives, past trauma, present trauma, drama, which I already said. Everything's being cleared so we can attract an abundant life. And abundance, I mean, with love and health and wealth and joy and happiness. If we have these things that are toxic in our life, it holds us back. So with that full moon energy and this pre-shadow starting and Mercury going into retrograde, we can really look at the things that we want to bring back up so we can face them and work through them and move forward. Like me with work, doing my shadow work, oh, it's been a doozy. I've learned so much. You know, Spirit told me the other day, it was like, what is going on? You know, why do I do this? Why do I constantly try to control stuff, right? I've worked so hard on not being a control freak. Whoops, I'm sorry about that. The camera just jolted. So I got to looking at a situation I recently went through, and I was like, I get it. I couldn't control the outcome of it. I couldn't control the situation. So what did I do? My other shadow brought up anger. See, when I was a little girl, I grew up with a single mom of 4 kids. So she was constantly, you know, moving, and it was pretty hectic. I mean, she was a great mom, and she always tried to keep things as normal as possible, if you want to call it normal, but we did have to move a lot. So I couldn't control those situations. So I was constantly, you know, throughout my adult life trying to control the outcome. And I teach people not to control the outcome. So see where I was kind of in denial, because, you know, our shadows are in our subconscious, right? It's stuff we're unaware of. So we don't really bring it to the conscious mind. So, and then my other one, anger, comes from growing up in a home where my mom was always so positive. She was very open and spiritual, and she wanted everything to be positive. She was like the strongest woman I knew, and nothing would stop her. So she was constantly, when I would get mad, oh no, you know, we can't get mad. We have to stay positive. And then what did that develop, right? That conditioning of that aspect of me couldn't come out. I couldn't be mad, and I wanted to be mad. So every time I would get mad and have a fit, it would be shut down. So what did it grow into as an adult? Passive aggressive behavior. So see how I've pulled this stuff up and I'm working on it. This last situation I went through just really opened my eyes, plus having my activation and healing. I'm working every day to better myself so I can be a better person for myself, for my kids, for you all. You know, I do my spiritual mentoring, my self-love mentoring. So, you know, bring up, what is it that you need to look at? You know, even if you can't recognize it, is there a pattern? Is there a way that you do things with relationships, with everyday life? You know, maybe check that out and look at that. This is a good time to bring stuff up, right? If you're new on your journey, which I do work with a lot of new people on their journey. It's something I'm very passionate about. But a shadow might sound really scary. Like, what the heck's a shadow? I see shadows in my eye reading. So when I tell clients, you have some shadows you need to work on, they are like, ooh, they're thinking, oh my gosh, I have like entities, dark beings or something on me, because it's called a shadow. It's not as bad as it seems. We pick up shadows at a very young age. You know, we come into this world whole and pure, and, you know, we have our own ways, our own aspects, and then we're born into these families. And I was watching Teal Swan the other day talk about it, and I shared it out on my Facebook social media. But we come in so pure and whole, and then we go into these families, and it's like, well, if they don't like that aspect of you having temper tantrums, or you being negative, or you being too happy, they shut it down, right? Oh no, you can't be that way. So then we grow up and we go by the way they conditioned us, but in our subconscious it's still running that, you know, we can't be that part of ourselves. So that's where we're working on the shadows. See, shadows are the dark, right? But we need that darkness to give us the light, right? The conscious mind, the light the subconscious, the dark. So in denying these aspects of ourselves, that's where we create our shadows. I knew somebody for years that did shadow work, and I was always in denial. I don't need that. Oh, no. And in the last probably 6 months, I've been really working on it. And I still have triggers. I think my biggest trigger was just last week. I had little stuff that kept coming in. I was like, oh, I'm doing so well. Look at me. And then something big came in. And that really triggered me. And with that, I was like, oh, okay. So how did I react to this? What was the trigger? What was the shadow aspect of it? What was I, needing to work on? And that's the most important thing on this journey, guys, is we have to accept ourselves light and dark as a whole, right? And we have to work on that dark side. I don't like to go through and say everything light, because we learn a lot from our shadows, from negativity, from things that go on every day, so we can take lessons from it, right? Even something I just went through, I'm sure people learned off of it. So we need that light and dark to be balanced. So, we go through, I'm just looking at my notes because I have a lot of stuff I want to talk about. So we go through this life, right? Not consciously understanding our shadows. And lots of times we do what? We project aspects of ourselves onto others. It's a big no-no. But we're always learning and growing. And that's why it's important to work on shadows, because just like I said, I recently went through, this piece of hair is kicking my butt. Recently went through a big situation where I had to look at what was I projecting, what was my shadows, what did I need to work on. I still believe I, had to step away from the situation because it was draining. Sometimes empaths, we want to be, that helper, that healer, that fixer. And we have to understand that everybody's on their own path. I've learned that big lesson, that we can't control their outcome. We can give advice, we can help, but we can't control the outcome. So, by embracing our shadows, you embrace your whole self. And that's really important. Shadows can be from anything from anger to jealousy, to pride, to control, right? And if something happened to you as a child or an adult, you can hold those shadows of things like anger or guilt. Why did this person hurt you? We're letting that stuff go right now that hurts. The truth is we all have these shadows, and you have to recognize them and work through them. But don't ever feel like you're not whole. You're bringing yourself back into wholeness. Nobody's better than you. We're not better than anybody. I get that a lot because I'm a strong person. Even though I have shadows and I'm working through them, I get, well, she thinks she's better than everybody, or she sits up on her pedestal, and it's truly not like that. I stand in my worth. I have spent many, many years to be as strong as I am. And when it comes to things not serving me well, I will walk away from it. And it gives me a bad rap sometimes. But, it doesn't matter if you're what they call, I don't want to say the word weak. If you're just not at that level of standing in your power. I don't even like saying level. If you are working on standing in your power, compared to somebody who has worked many years to stand in their power, it doesn't make that person, I myself, better than you. It's just that we've been doing it for a while, and you will be doing it for a while too. And when you stand in it, you'll see that those boundaries are so important when you stand in your power to keep moving forward, because you don't want to go back to feeling, that, I don't know what word I'm looking for, that lost feeling, like that confused feeling, or the feeling of just not being good enough. So, work on that. It's important to recognize your shadows and work with them. So, let's get back to the Mercury retrograde stuff. I want you guys to use this time as a good time, okay? It's going to feel a little wonky. So, do your grounding, your detoxing, your recharging, all that good stuff. And look at it like, what can I take from this to move forward? How can I work through this? Bring up the old stuff that you didn't complete and complete it. It's a time of creativity, of expansion. There's really good stuff in Mercury retrograde, but we all look at it like, oh, no, I don't want to deal with it. Okay, so let's do our weekly forecast. Let's see what the cards have to say, right? Okay, I'm using the Energy Oracle deck, and we will get started. I'm anxious to see myself. Okay, let's see. Oh, there it goes. Oh, check that out. Indecisions in reverse, guys. Ooh, we have been going through being incisive, haven't we? We're not too sure on our decisions. We are kind of standing at that crossroad and we're like, which way do I go now? Is this the right way? We're being told to go one way, but then our overthinking, which we do, right, is telling us to go another way. I get so many messages about this, and so many times in a reading, that's what's coming out because people are wondering, should I do this? Or listen to your intuition. It's a big thing right now. It's really heightened. And what is your inner compass? What is your inner gut, your intuition? What is it telling you to do? Well, the way it looks for Monday and Tuesday, the things that you were indecisive about, you couldn't make the decision on, is falling away. You're making the decisions. You're listening to what your gut is saying. So that's great for Monday and Tuesday because I've been doing it too. I'm like, oh, I feel so sure now. I don't know if it was that healing I had or that activation, but I don't second guess stuff. I've been really good about trying not to second guess stuff, but I'm still a human. I'm not perfect, so sometimes that comes up. So it's good to see this card that we're all coming around to where we're listening and we can make those decisions, right? So let's see what the next card says. Okay. Well, did you see that? It's like flew away. Hold on a second. Okay. Look at this, guys. We're just talking about walking away, right? On the other side of that gate is her beautiful new beginnings, her gate, her doorway to leaving all that stuff behind, the toxicity, the bad relationships, the bad, workplaces, everything that's not serving us well, we're walking away from. And this is for Wednesday and Thursday. So it might be, a little scary that these changes are coming up. And, Wednesday and Thursday, you're going to notice that you don't want to put up with crap anymore. You're walking away from it. And even if it's something that's been long term, you have to do it so you can move forward. So we're all walking away from the things not serving us well this week, especially Wednesday and Thursday. So let's see what Friday and Saturday say. I'm going to do one for Sunday by itself. I like doing it that way. Okay. So, oh my gosh. I love it. Look what happens, guys, when you can make the right decisions, listening to your gut, right? And you walk away from things not serving you well. What happens? Victory. It brings in, like I said, that abundance because you're moving forward away from the things that have been holding you back. So that's for Friday and Saturday. That's awesome. It's like a whole little theme going here like that. I always like that. That's when it's really coming out what we need to hear about the walking away and being, firm in our decisions and trusting in them, not second guessing them. So let's see for Sunday. Ooh. Abundance. blossoming abundance. And number 3 card, look at the little owl on there. In my eye readings, owls represent leading us out of the darkness into light. My goodness. We stood firm Monday and Tuesday in making our decisions, trusting our gut. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, we're walking away, right, from the things not serving us anymore. We've been doing that a while, but Wednesday and Thursday is a strong time for it. Friday and Saturday, what? We're victorious for our decisions and walking away from the things holding us back, which brings us into that blossoming abundance. See? As we let go of the things holding us back, we make room for that abundance in our life. Awesome reading. I love it so much. I love when it all flows together like that. It's my favorite. So I will leave you with this week. Remember, don't look at this Mercury retrograde as a bad thing. Look at, what you can learn from it and use from it and move forward from it. Right now we're still releasing. Chiron is still in retrograde. We're releasing and healing. We have a lot of different energies going on, guys. So let it go, Look at it, recognize it, work through it, and let it go. And follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram. I'll put it here on the description. And, just try to keep grounding, detoxing, and recharging. Do that meditation, even if it's 5 minutes a day. Disconnect, come back into that calmness, that peace that you're so longing for. Do the work and things turn around. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to my channel. Ring the bell if you want to get notifications when I'm on. Sorry about last week. I was on like a little mini vacay, but I'm back now, and I will see you next Monday, the 28th, for another forecast. We'll check out the energies then. We're getting closer to Mercury retrograde being stationed next Monday. See how you guys are all doing. Comment, tell me what's going on. If you need to work on something, or if you'd like a private reading, you can message me. I'll have it all here for you. And I'll see you next Monday. Thank you. Love and light.